So we just talked about snow cone.
If it is
Quick
to keep up with
reminder.
content creation, you can get a 10K check from Twitch. What the fuck is a 10K check when you gotta spend 5K on trips to travel?
Sorry, it's silent.
$500 on setup shit. Fucking $2,000 on your rent.
Pretty Foxu, what is your advice today?
My advice is don't spend 5K on traveling to grind the content.
Fucking $200 on Wi-Fi, $200 on IRL toolkit. You gotta pay the clippers, pay a YouTube editor. Chat, I don't think y'all realize
To maintain Kitsu in the style she desires.
I be going in the negative doing this shit. Oh.
Yeah, so segue from Snowcone right into Deme. You just came from Deme's stream? Yes, Deme also talked about this topic today. We're also gonna talk about this. I hate when people say streaming is hard. It's really not. Let me zoom this in. It's really not. I'm blessed as fuck being able to sit my ass all day yapping, playing games and reacting to videos. Taking breaks whenever I want to is a privilege. Sure, it is. I do agree with that. Absolutely. It is a privilege. It absolutely is. Kato, very cute Kato. In fact, very, very cute. Now, I don't know how related this is to each other. But Abiko also made a post here about the same topic. This was posted on July 4th, while Demis was posted on July 2nd. Now, where this all could come into is FaZe dropping this video. 9 to 5 workers will streamers debate. What is harder? This is from 13 days ago. But let's read what Abiko had to say. Let's read it. Because I have my own thoughts of this, obviously. Honestly, let's put up my thoughts out first before we read Abby's stuff. So, streaming definitely is a privilege. You are, as a streamer, you are definitely lucky to be able to do this. I don't wanna say you're not, like, it's not lucky. It's not only luck, though.
Streaming is easy but grown is hard, emo.
Yes. Yeah. I worked a 9 to 5 before. I did work multiple 9 to 5s. I worked in customer support, I took calls, I worked in tech support, I had chat support, I had email support. Absolute fucking bullshit. Dealing with people is ass. But I would be lying if I didn't say there's benefits to 9 to 5 that streaming doesn't have, and there's benefits to streaming, obviously, that 9 to 5 doesn't have. Now, streaming is absolutely a fucking privilege, and I feel so fucking grateful that I am able to do this. Okay? First things first. Putting that out of the fucking way. But I think it's slightly disingenuous to say that it's just yapping, just playing games, just reacting to videos. Taking breaks whenever I want? Sure. Yeah, absolutely. It is a privilege. It absolutely is a privilege. But as Demi says, also Keiso just says, it's just sitting on your ass playing games. But that is only if you already made it. Because if you're a smaller creator, you gotta actually work pretty hard on it. Because yes, there's just people that get lucky, like we talked about her. She went to Streamer University and that's why she blew up. Sure, she could be interesting, I don't know, I skimmed through her content, I didn't find her content interesting personally, but there always is an audience for something. But to grow, to even get to the point, it's luck. There is luck involved, but it's not only luck. You gotta grind, you gotta work into it. You gotta put work into it. You gotta sit your ass down and actually do. Just sitting on your ass, just yapping, will not get you security, financial security. It will not.
I'm working as a beer merchandiser. It's
Yo.
the 4th of July. But I guess
Yeah.
streaming is super difficult, I guess.
It's not difficult. I don't want to call it difficult. But it's also not that dream job. Well, yes, it is a dream job. But it's also not just all flowers and rainbows. That's what I mean. It's not just flowers and rainbows. To grow, you have to be noticed, have to be seen, so you have to put yourself out there. And it hurts. It does. You gotta put your entire fucking body into it if you want it to work. Some streamers have a lot of other work going on in the background, but it's still far more rewarding work than a real 9-to-5 job. Yeah. Advantages of a 9-to-5 job. I would say the biggest advantage of a 9-to-5 job is that you go to work, you clock in, you do your work, and at the end of the day, you go home and you stop thinking about work. Stability, sure. Sure, stability. But that's not what I'm on about right now. There's a routine and you turn off your brain after you get home. As a content creator, for most people, it's really, really, really hard to separate everyday life from content creation. Because you see a video, like as a reaction, or you see a video, you think, oh, this is something I could watch on stream. Or if there's a game you want to play, it could be a good game to play on stream. You're always on the grind. It never stops. The grind never stops. Even when you're asleep, you dream about streaming. I die having to do streaming. I don't have the charisma or the social battery for it. It would be almost as bad as a customer service or sales for me. I have a really low social battery. I have a super low social battery. And I'm still here, but I wish I could stream more. I have the biggest imposter syndrome there is. Every day I think about one day people are gonna say and find out and accuse me of bitch doesn't even fucking know what she's talking about. Bitch is just pretending. One day I feel like that's just gonna be there. That I feel like I don't know what I'm talking about. I do. I feel like, why am I even in this position? I feel hella blessed being in this position. I do feel like I got lucky. It's not like I didn't put any work in. I did. And I'm still putting work in. But I still feel blessed about it. And now I don't want to preach about how fucking lucky I am with all of this. I don't want to be preaching about here when... Nowadays... Every second person, probably, if not every single person, dreams about being a content creator, a streamer, a YouTuber, whatever. Right? I don't want to be out here preaching. But what I do want to say is... There's work involved. There's upsides and downsides to everything. And every person handles shit differently. Every person handles a 9-to-5 differently. Every person handles streaming differently. I wouldn't stream with unders. Fair enough. I just know, like, a lot of people do want to be streamers. Right? Now, yes, consistency and shit is key. It's important to keep the grind at. Sometimes people do just get lucky. Sometimes people get invited to Streamer University and suddenly are popping off and are able to get 10k a month and then, quote unquote, as they say, reinvest it to make even bigger content. Sometimes people do get lucky with it. But most of the times that doesn't happen. Most of the times people have to put the work in. So to get to this state where you're just yapping, playing games and reacting, you already need to be established. You already need to be established at that point.
I have lost so much time from thinking about work tasks and projects outside work hours. I can assume what it would be like for content creation when your entertainment is connected to your work.
Yeah. It is quite something. Now, to add on this, there is so many part-time content creators that do work in 9-to-5 and are also at the same time trying to make it as a content creator because it is their dream, because it is their hobby, because they just enjoy doing it, right? Imagine how exhausted those people gotta be. And yet they're out here still grinding. It's a privilege, but a privilege that you have to work for work for in most cases. Now, let's read what Abby has to say about this.
To me, when come streaming, I just worry about not being able to interact with my audience due to me don't have enough good English to understand them.
You can always just learn more English. Like, you can always just train your English, you know? My English used to be fucking god-awful, and I feel like my English has improved over me consistently streaming too. My English was already, like, on conversational level that I absolutely can communicate in English, right? But I feel like my English got better over the past year and a half too. English skills come with practice, absolutely. It's something you can train. So is being an entertainer, by the way. Like, sure, there's natural charisma, and some people are just naturally funny and naturally charismatic. But being an entertainer is a skill that you can also learn. Timing is everything. Timing is very important too, yes. Proud of you, crazy fox. Thank you. Now let's read what Abby has to say about this. Streaming isn't as easy unless you're incredibly privileged, lucky, and have had doors open for you. That was my sentiment. Breaking through is an uphill battle. It is. Content creation is demanding, unstable, and often thankless. Yes, unstable, absolutely. The income of content creation is never consistent. With a 9 to 5, you have a consistent income where you know you're going to have this and this money available in the month. Content creation, how do you get paid as a content creator? Twitch subscriptions, ads, ad revenue from YouTube, gifted subs, bits. All of this is outside factors that you personally can not directly influence.
I also ridicule the content school idea. We had one in here and by country's biggest YouTube channel, and all their trainees went bankrupt within a year because the guys did not have any real knowledge how to replicate own successes. It was half by luck.
Yeah. Sponsors, true. Sponsors also, but you gotta be at a certain size to get sponsors, because otherwise sponsors won't be interested in you, because you will not be able to put their content in front of eyes. What else? Those are mainly it, right? Like, sure, you can hold subathons, you can give incentives for people to subscribe, incentives for people to use bits, all of that, but it's still outside factors. Twitch income. If you're a streamer, you are relying, I don't want to call it charity sounds bad, but you are relying on your audience. You are relying on your audience's, what's the word? I don't know. You're relying on your audience anyway. Because what if they just generosity? Sure. Yeah, patronage, generosity, goodwill. Goodwill, it was exactly the word I was looking for, goodwill. And if you're not entertaining enough, why would they support you? Right? If you don't give them value, why would they support you? Why would they sub? Why would they give you bits? It's incredibly unreliable as a small content creator to make money. Unreliable and unstable, completely. I always said I don't want to rely on Twitch income. I want to get my YouTube income on ad stable. But even on YouTube, you don't directly influence it. Sure, there's factors you can use to increase your ad revenue, such as uploading more, uploading multiple times daily, obviously making good content, running more ads, God forbid, on your videos. But in the end, if YouTube says, screw you, and you have, for example, a rosy situation where you react to cute animal content and cute memes, and YouTube just flags you as animal abuse and child safety risk, and YouTube suddenly just says, fuck your content, and we're not pushing out your videos for 3 days when you upload them, and only after 3 days you're getting a push, you're fucking screwed. So it is incredibly unstable, and there's always a fear that something could happen where it just screws you over. Especially with Twitch also being fucking hateful to VTubers. If we're looking at VTubers, for example, right? Twitch just seems to hate VTubers for some fucking reason, although they pretend they don't. YouTube, for example, hates ASMR content. Who knows? So just by a snap, your content could be suddenly gone. If YouTube bans you, your money income is gone. If Twitch bans you, gone. No more income.
There also the fact Twitch might be gone one day.
Yeah. Sure, there's alternatives to Twitch, sure. There's Kick, there's YouTube. Rumble? I don't even know how Rumble works. There's alternatives, sure. But it's just not safe, is what I wanted to say. It's just not safe. At one point, right, when you're big enough, you don't have to worry about it that much. The worry about it gets smaller and smaller and smaller because you have a safety net, because you have saved up money, because you get enough monthly income anyway through other means and purposes, right? But if you're a smaller creator and still grinding every day, it is harsh. And with all of that, I still prefer it over 9 to 5, personally. With all of that, I still prefer it over 9 to 5. Just saying. Now, let's keep going here. It's a full-time grind that rarely stops unless you can afford to shell out thousands for a dedicated team. True, absolutely. Absolutely. At the start, what I was doing at the start, I was literally just ripping my VODs out of... I was ripping the reactions out of my VODs and just putting them into the YouTube. Ads were in there, ads weren't cut out, rates were in there, alerts were in there, but now I got an editor who's doing all of that for me. My editor even uploads the videos for me, which is such a blessing. My editor now gets the chat files for me and puts them onto the thing, which is such a fucking blessing. I would like to increase my workload more. I would like to upload more videos, right? I would like to grind more. But it's also at the detriment of my mental health, so I just can't do more, personally. But that's just a me issue. But YouTube often doesn't return what you're spending. I have my highlights channel where we are uploading gameplay, collabs, funny videos, meme compilations, all of that stuff. I have not made a single cent of return on that so far. I have spent, like, percentage-wise, I haven't, as said, I have not made a single dollar on it, on highlights, and I've been just sinking money into it. Is that channel even monetized? It's been monetized for a month or so, I think. But yeah, I haven't made a single cent off of it. It's a gamble with every video. Yeah, it absolutely is. You gotta keep up the grind, you gotta keep pushing into it, and it is a point to reinvest your money to keep growing. But I'm not saying... No, but what I want to say is that just because you upload a video doesn't mean that you're necessarily making a return into it. That's what I'm trying to say. So don't downplay the hustle, respect the work. Absolutely, absolutely fucking agreed with it. It's something people don't want to hear though, because the general consensus is that streamers got lucky, that streamers just have nepotism or whatever, that literally that they got lucky. That they got money, that they got lucky, that anything but their own work. That's the general consensus of content creation. I've worked in retail, production, fashion, weddings, and on film sets, but nothing has ever drained me like streaming does. In most traditional jobs, you clock out. That's what I was talking about earlier. You get to rest, recharge, and enjoy your time and hobbies, but content creation, it follows you everywhere. You eat, sleep, and breathe it. There's no clocking out, no true breaks. Absolutely. Absolutely. She's 100% right. Waking up whenever I want? Not really. I set a schedule and stick to it. Time off whenever I feel like it? I wish. The guilt hits hard. Yeah. I consistently feel like I'm letting people down, or that everything I've built will fade if I'm not always present. It's called imposter syndrome as well. She definitely suffers from imposter syndrome, which most people do. And content creation anyway. It's such a prevalent thing for content creators. And people don't want to listen, people don't want to hear about this. Because again, they think content creators just got lucky. It's easy for some, but not for everyone. Definitely not for me. This career is constant, it's physically and emotionally exhausting, and unless you've lived it, you'll never truly understand how heavy it is to carry. And while I'm venting, don't even get me started on the disrespect I get for being a vtuber. The way people dehumanize me just because I enjoy sex work or incorporate sensual content into what I do. Like, I'm suddenly less deserving of respect, boundaries, or empathy. I wish I had it easy as you. You just moan into a mic and get paid. Abiko, as she said, she does sex work, but it's absolutely respectable the way she does it, because she doesn't hide it, she doesn't pretend to do anything else. Like, to be anything else. She loves it, she's absolutely into it, and I think that's absolutely fucking respectable, because look at other women, like Denims, that pretend they are holier than thou. You know? That's absolutely disgusting. Own it, own up to it. I absolutely fucking respect the shit out of Abby. She put so much fucking work into it, and although I don't enjoy loot content, right? Like, sure, I make jokes here and there, and I can poke fun at loot stuff, as in, I can make a loot joke, sure, and I joke about it. But I'm not really that loot, and I'm not really interested in loot content too. Links, literally her name is Abby vtuber. It's right on screen. But she's still a really fun person. I sometimes lurk in her streams anyway, because I just enjoy what she does. She's a really sweet girl, and she works super, super hard. You have no idea how physically and emotionally taxing this work is. It's not just flipping a switch and turning on sexy. It's performance, branding, scripting, editing, constant marketing, and carrying yourself with confidence even when you're burnt out. Dealing with trolls and fighting through the stigma that comes with being seen as just a buddy or taking the easy route. You had to resort to loot tubing, ? Then you throw chronic illnesses into the mix. It's exhausting. Some days I can barely function, but I still show up, because if I don't, I fall behind. There's no sick leave. There's no one to cover for me. The pressure to stay relevant, to always be on, to keep numbers up, to not be forgotten. It's relentless. Let people enjoy what they do. Let them build their career that works for them. If you don't like it, scroll on. Mind your own business and let others live without judgment. Respect isn't conditional on how someone chooses to make their living. End. Absolutely respectable. And I absolutely agree with everything she said. Absolutely. This. It always makes me feel better when other VTubers talk about this. It's like we aren't alone and can relate to one another. This so much. Very well said, Abiko. Thank you for taking the time to write this out and speak up. It's a full-time grind that rarely stops. It's such a mood, though.
The lack of separation of your job from your life as content creator is same mechanism people running own business have. It's hard, but there are thousands of books on the subject, with numerous methods each working different for different people. A lot of people could seek knowledge in unorthodox spaces rather than one-to-one guides.
Now, yes, I can see the comparisons, sure. VTubers are their own business, sure, but like, a business, what is a business? There's a million different businesses, and there's not really a one-fit-all guides to content creation. It's not something that's been around for long. It's something people are still learning about and people are still figuring out. And even when people have made it, most of the times they don't even know why they have made it. You know? Most of the times they still feel like they don't deserve to be in the spot they are in. Yeah. That's... Wow. She's Canadian too? Yeah! Abby is Canadian. That is true. I think I pretty much said what I wanted to say about this topic. Yeah. So yeah, absolutely. It's a privilege, sure, but don't downplay the hustle. Respect the work, absolutely. And it isn't easy unless you're incredibly privileged, lucky, and have had doors open for you. Yeah.
Honestly, I respect her, unlike Hassan, who found streaming hard because he have to fight his chat daily basic. Wow, so difficult, bro.
Hassan falls into the category of privileged and lucky and have had doors open for you. He falls into all of this. He is a nepotism baby. He is a nepo baby. He is spoiled, and he... If I speak, I'm in trouble.